So you're looking to make a move to the Greater Lansing, Michigan area, and you're wondering, what do condos look like in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area? What's the style of them? How do they work? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about condo living in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area, also giving you some pros and cons to be aware of. And be sure to stay tuned until the very end, because the last one is something that a lot of people don't think about, and it's something I always tell my people who are looking to buy a condo. So we're going to get started with this next episode of Lansing, Michigan Life right now. Hey everybody, Troy Seifert here with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. I'm a top producing real estate agent in Greater Lansing, and I get phone calls all the time from people all across the country, people who are just like you, watching this channel, potentially looking to move here. So whether you're looking to move here in 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months from now, I would love to be able to talk with you. All my information is in the description below, so please call me, text me, email me, or schedule a Zoom call with me. I would love to be able to speak with you one-on-one and kind of find out what your real estate goals are. And also, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified when a new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life goes live. Right now, we are the fastest growing YouTube channel in all of Greater Lansing. We want to continue to keep that up, and it's thanks to all of you who are watching this channel. So please, if you haven't already done so, please do that. I would greatly appreciate it. So we're looking at condos. I haven't talked about condos this entire time. I've talked enough about buying a home and what it looks like to buy a home, and maybe some little tidbits about condos, but this is the first real video I've had about condos. I've had some people in the comments reach out to me and ask, hey, when are you gonna do something about condos? Or when are you gonna show something about condos in some of your home tours? Well, right here, I'm gonna be devoting this entire video to pros and cons of condos. So something you need to know about condos in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. If you're looking at this channel and you live in a huge city with high rises and just floors and floors of condo units, that is not Greater Lansing. In fact, probably the tallest amount of floors that would be in the Greater Lansing area would be about 4 or 5 floors. And there's one of those high-rise buildings in East Lansing that have some condos, and I think I've referred to those already. But really, if you're looking for the really cheap condos, a lot of them are apartment style, but they don't have these amazing city views or anything like that. So some of the condos in our area, although they're not on high rises, some of them can be apartment-like, some of them can be attached condos where there's one unit on the other side, so it could be like a duplex, or it could just be in a full row of condos as well. Some of those could be townhomes as well, multi-levels. It's not just one level. You have a multi-level condo unit, and there are plenty of detached condos. Now, the thing that you have to be concerned about with detached condos are, what are the association fees and what am I responsible for, right? But there are plenty of neighborhoods that are just strictly detached condos. It's a single residence. You don't have anybody on your, either side of your walls. So there are some of those as well too. There is quite a bit of variety, but it's not like you're gonna get the high rises, kind of like I said earlier, okay? So that's just kind of painting the picture a little bit for you in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. So I wanna start with my first pro. I have 5 pros and 5 cons of condo living in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. So my first pro for a condo is that there's less maintenance that you have to do with a condo. Now this is kind of true across the board wherever you go. A lot of times a condo association will charge you association fees. Now, depending on where you're at, those can be higher or they can be lower. It just depends on how well the condo association balanced their budgets. It's really what it's all about. And so if you are going to be in a typical condo association within the Greater Lansing area, at a minimum, they will cover snow removal, lawn care, possibly trash, possibly water and sewer. If you're going to be getting something with lawn care and snow removal, you're looking at about $150 to $200 a month at least to just be able to cover that. Now, another thing that's included in condo policies, and the majority of them, are any exterior maintenance, such as your roof, your siding, gutters, windows for some people. So, you really have to see the bylaws of the association to see what's included with them. But then that's the thing, if you're gonna have your roof and your siding and all those things covered, your association dues are gonna go up. So that, within the greater Lansing area is like, $400 to $500 a month. Now, if you get one of the smaller, cheaper units, that's like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, or 2-bedroom, 1-bath, that might be closer to like around $300 a month. But I mean, the thing that's nice is you don't have to do any lawn care, you don't have to do any landscaping, snow removal is included. And again, like maybe there might be a utility or two that's covered at the very least. Also, your exterior maintenance would all be covered. So if you have an issue, it's almost kind of like, if you're renting right now, it's almost kind of like having a landlord when you have a condo association, because you have to give them a call and say, hey, there's like a leak in my roof. I need this taken care of. That would be covered. With a condo association, you as a homeowner are responsible for everything from the paint in. That's the rule with a condo. The only exception would be if you have a central air unit, obviously that's outside. So there are some exceptions to that rule, or you might have a deck that you might wanna add. They kind of write in the bylaws that you're responsible for deck maintenance, but you're responsible for everything from the paint in. You're responsible for replacing things like the water heater, the furnace, the AC, the appliances, things of that nature. So those are the things that you have to take care of, but anything outside of that, condo association takes care of. So it's kind of nice. You can have some coverage on that, okay? So that's the first pro, less maintenance. The second pro, and I kind of alluded to this, so I'm gonna kind of combine this with the last one, is that the association more than likely can take care of the roof, the siding. But here's the thing, you guys, you have to pay attention to the Homeowners Association fee. Because if it's super cheap, like if it's cheaper than a lot of the stuff you saw, like $150, $200, more than likely your roof, your siding, all that stuff will not be covered. So you have to be sure that your roof, your siding, if that's what you're really wanting covered, that it is covered. And again, you do pay a premium for that, but that is another plus, that you can have some of the big ticket items kind of budgeted and taken care of. And then what happens is you have a condo association board that looks at balances the budget. And if you have really good people on that committee, then you should have nothing to worry about as time goes on. There should be enough money with all the different units that are there, right? So a lot of things that are outside of your control when it comes to a condo, for sure. But that's something just to be aware of, that your roof, siding, that stuff can be covered and is usually covered. But if you do have a cheaper homeowners association like fee, more than likely that stuff will not be covered, and you'll have to get an insurance policy to reflect that. Okay, speaking of insurance, number 3 pro with owning a condo is there is cheaper homeowners insurance. Now, I used to do insurance for a living. I know this for a fact. You get a homeowner's insurance policy. Right now within the Lansing area, you're looking at anywhere from, on average, $120 to $150 a month for a homeowner's insurance policy. If you were to do a condo policy, a lot of times it's half of that, if not more. Why is that? Because the condo policy that you get only includes stuff that is included from the paint in. So, and also your personal property, but it's not including the roof. It's not including the siding. It's not including all of those other things that could be big ticket items. So an insurance company sees, hey, we don't have to be on the hook for a roof. We don't have to be on the hook for damaged siding from like a hailstorm. So we're gonna offer a far less size premium for these condos. So that is an advantage, like a way that you can save some money on a condo, on buying a condo, is that your insurance that you have for it will be far less than having just a typical home. Okay, number 4, a pro is that condos in Lansing especially can be more affordable than a house, okay? They can definitely be more affordable. In Greater Lansing, the average right now for a condo in the Greater Lansing area is $238,000. The average home in our entire association, which includes a lot of different cities as well, like little one-off cities here and there, but the average was $268,000. So a condo definitely can be a cheaper option. And also with condos, you can find a condo with a decent amount of square footage, like 800 or 900 square feet for as low as 70,000 within Lansing City, all the way up to 750,000, but those are the detached units that have no walls on either side, and they have lots of upgrades in them. Okay, so you can find them for a wide range of prices, right? But when we look at the average of everything that's sold, condos are a cheaper thing to own. The last thing with a condo, with having a condo as opposed to a home, is that there's a lot of times you can have amenities such as a clubhouse that you can rent out for parties or family gatherings. A lot of times they might include a pool. Also, the thing that's kind of good too with the association is, they have the amenities, but also they have an association that governs the entire neighborhood and makes sure that there are rules that are in place, and make sure that people aren't going to, that people are taking care of things. Like everyone's lawns are going to be taken care of more than likely, right? Because the lawn care is already serviced, but they're going to make sure that everything looks like it's in tip-top shape for everybody. And you're not going to have maybe that one neighbor in a neighborhood that might not be taking care of things and making the neighborhood look bad. So again, those are some nice things with being a part of a condo association, okay? But now I'm gonna get to the cons. And speaking of rules, I said it can kind of be a pro. Well, a con can be rules. Condos might not be for you if you do not like rules, because there are some things that you might wanna be able to do. Like with condos, you really do not own any part of land at all. So you are subject to the condo association. With your home, you have like a certain parcel that you have that shows how large that lot is, according to an amount of acreage, okay? But with a condo association, nobody owns property. So you don't have you have a yard that's just kind of out there for everybody. You have a lot of common areas that are out there. So there's really not a lot of freedom that you can do with that if you don't have anything, like any piece of land that you particularly own. And some people just don't like rules. If you're somebody that doesn't like rules and you don't like people telling you what to do, guess what? A condo is probably not for you. So try to stay away from it then. Number 2 con with owning a condo is that there's less appreciation in the value of the home. What I mean by that is year over year, you're going to see less of a price increase year over year than you would with a home. I'm comparing it to a home. So in the Lansing area, just to give you some stats here, condos year over year rose 6% in value, and a single family residence home was 9% year over year. And historically, as time's gone, sometimes that gap is a little bit wider even, 3% isn't that bad, but there's far less condos that sell in our area than single family residences as well. So 9% for homes as opposed to 6% on average for condos. So if you look to resell your condo within a few years, you might not have as much equity in it as you would for a typical home. Another con is that in our area right now, I am seeing association dues be around the $400 to $500 a month range. And a lot of these associations that are doing this right now are associations that have been around since the 80s. So in East Lansing, we have a number of condo associations that have been around for a while. And so they increase their dues because they're saying, hey, we got to replace a roof for everybody. We got to replace the siding. That siding's looking a little old. When we built these, we probably shouldn't have done wood siding. We should have done vinyl siding. So the dues in our area, I feel like on average, they've greatly increased, not only because of projects, but also even in our area, landscaping costs have skyrocketed because landscaping people need to find people to do jobs, especially after COVID-19. That is something that we have seen. We've seen a huge increase in the amount of labor for landscaping stuff. So if you're going to go for a condo, just plan on an average at least of around $400 a month. If you're doing $350 a month, you're doing pretty well. And that's with everything included. That's your roof, that's your gutters, your siding, all your exterior stuff, plus the snow, the lawn care, the trash. You're doing pretty well if you're at $350. But honestly, like when I have priced things out for lawn care, if you really crunch the numbers, it really is kind of a wash because you're paying for somebody to do this stuff, but it's not like you're paying like a huge premium fee because they're doing it for everybody else. So it could be quite a deal for you, like as time goes on, because yes, you're paying this $400 to $600, you know, every month, but you know, for people who pay to have their lawn service done, I mean, to have it fertilized, everything, you know, everything else, that can be just for the lawn care, $350 to $400 a month, and that's for somebody who's looking to have someone landscape or mow their lawn at their own house. So just some things to keep in perspective within the greater Lansing area. Okay, another con with purchasing a condo is that the interest rates for condo units can be higher than a single family residence. So keep that in mind when you're looking to get a condo. Now, if you pay cash, you don't have to worry about any interest rates, right? Your interest rate is zero, you paid it in full. All you gotta pay is the condo association dues. But when it comes to getting it financed, the thing that you have to be aware of is that you're gonna have a higher interest rate than a typical single family home would. So definitely reach out to your lender, find out what that interest rate is. And the last one, I think I told you, this is something a lot of people don't think about. And I've kind of alluded to this in the video, but I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail. The last thing is that you can get an assessment with a condo if the association has a shortage on their budget, okay? So you can get a condo's assessments that you can get. And I'm telling you, just with every bylaw that's out there, there is a subject to, like you could have, there's a condo association that their dues were close to $500 a month. And everyone had to get a new roof, siding was due for it as well. They were charging their residents around $200 a month for a 2-year period. And they are able to do that. They have a board meeting, they discuss it, they vote on it. But in order to not fall short on all these replacements, that's what they do. So I'm just telling all of you out there, like, yes, you have your monthly association dues, but don't be surprised if the association charges you an assessment and you're going, what, I'm on the hook for this too? Yeah, because maybe the homeowners, or the condo, I like to say homeowners, but the condo association board, maybe they didn't balance the budget correctly. And maybe when they started, because this is something I've seen in our area, the association do start like around $250 for the newer units. Hey, this is pretty cheap, this is good, right? As time went on with that, you know, some of these units are now 10, 15, 20 years. Like, oh, we're gonna need to get new roofs for everything. And if we're looking at this, we don't have enough money for this. We should have charged $300 a month starting out and gotten a little bit more from everybody else. So people are learning, obviously, with the associations, but that is something that I tell all my clients to be aware of. We always look to see if there's an assessment that is there, like, hey, is there an assessment that's charged? And if they do close on that condo unit, sometimes the buyer has to assume it, or sometimes the seller just pays it off in full. I mean, that's something that you have to negotiate. But then as time goes on, you never know. Like if there's a huge major project, even a drain project in one of our condo associations was charging people anywhere from another 100 to 150 more a month just for this drain assessment that had to be done. So it is a real thing. It's something that you have to be aware of as well and could add more to your monthly budget. So again, I thank you for watching this video and hopefully it was really informative for you. Again, I haven't really done anything with condos, so hopefully you learned a lot about how a condo works, what it's like in the greater Lansing area. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to be notified when a brand new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life goes live. And we're going live once or twice a week with a new episode, so you're not gonna wanna miss those. And also, if you're looking to move here in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months from now, please reach out to me. All my contact information is in the description below, so call me, text me, email me, schedule a Zoom call with me. I would love to be able to talk with you about your real estate goals and kind of help you on in your journey of potentially moving here to Lansing, Michigan. So everyone, you can see with my t-shirt on, it is getting warmer out there in Michigan. I love it. I love wearing t-shirts again. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Make it a great day, everybody. Take care.